Podcast Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, I thank all of you for waiting in the chat, man. I thank all of you guys for waiting in that chat. And I'm sitting here and I'm reading all of the comments. I'm so glad I've learned how to do this now. But man, I'm sitting here and I'm reading all of you guys' comments. And man, I must say, you guys got some interesting things in here. So, of course, we got the breaking news. Calzada has entered the transfer portal. If I had some background noise going on, one of those special effects, I would have hit it for you. Unfortunately, I don't. So we're going to do our own effects. But Zach has entered the transfer portal, man. Of course, now is this a shocker? Is this a shocker? Man, let's all be honest. It's not. Let me read a couple of things. Well, I'm gonna miss number 10, stuff like that. You're getting worried this will affect our program, us not having a defense coordinator. Guys, look here. I'm gonna tell you like this here. I'm not sure if when Jimbo Fisher is gonna hire the DC, but whoever he hired, just like quote unquote LSU keep on saying that they making a splash hire, that's going to be the same thing for Texas A&M. And when Jimbo Fisher makes that hire, it's going to be a lot of guys like, oh, okay, wow. Or when he makes that promotion or whatever it may be, it will be the best in this team's interest to fit who's all coming in. All right, so I'm going to say it like that, and we're going to leave it at that, man. With us not having a defense coordinator, it is not affecting anything at all. I'm going to tell you that. Also, man, let me go ahead and clear up this. Let me go ahead and clear up this room. Evan Stewart and Walter Nolan is not getting flipped. All right, so anybody out there who's still preaching the Evan Stewart and Walter Nolan flip, it's not happening, man. It is not happening. I have looked on the 247 message boards and stuff like that, and shout out to those recruiters for Texas Ags, man, and Texas A&M in general. It's nobody flipping. It's nobody flipping. Bobby Taylor ain't going anywhere. Matter of fact, Bobby Taylor done dropped the mic once again and said that's one. Oh my God, man! When he dropped that and said that's one, I have no clue of who he done got to commit. I don't. So any of you guys want to know who we got to commit, we will find out on Wednesday. To my knowledge, though, in my own opinion, which is my knowledge, of course, man, I think he done got either Cam Dewberry or I think he done got Denver Harris to commit. So, two things I want to point out here, especially for recruiting. Denver has man, oh man, oh man. That is going to be a shock. That is going to be a shocker there, man. I still think I still think we're going to have number one recruiting class. That's just that. So it is what it is on that. I hear somebody saying no sound. What sound? What sound are you talking about? Sound is bad. Oh, okay. The reason why you guys probably didn't hear any sound was because I think I got a phone call in. That's probably why you didn't hear any sound. But yes, man, Bobby Taylor is killing it. He is killing it right now. So, like I say, man, if for anything, this is one of the premier classes that we've never ever had, in which every recruit in the class is sticking with one another. Every recruit in the class is solid with their verbal commitment. Now, of course, man, the guys that I'm seeing that they have as quote unquote potential flips is Dion Bouye from Georgia. But I'm gonna tell you like this here, he's not flipping. He's not flipping at all. Jay, let's do lunch sometime. I'm on 59 in the Beltway. Hey man, we can hook that up. We can hook that up. I have no problem with that. You just have to get with my email. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you guys my email. This is gonna be my email. That's the email right there, guys. If you guys want to know anything, man, look, just email me, please. Please email. All right. And look, you guys seen me do this in action, man. So email me. I'm not playing with you. Just email me and let me know. Now with the Kelvin Banks news, him going to the Kelvin Banks going to Texas, and of course Quinn Ewers, people. Quinn Ewers. Quinn has officially gone to Texas, in which is not nothing new at all. But as soon as Quinn Ewers committed over there, man, this is everything that we saw. Oh, you know what that means. It's gonna be a lot of Aggies flipping now. Once again, man, it is nobody flipping. The weekend that went by was so good, to the simple fact of that the guys that was not planning on staying the night, they stayed. All right, so I'm gonna say this once again: the guys that was not planning on staying tonight, they stayed. Do I think Ewers will win a job now? There, man, most definitely. Because I'm gonna tell you like this here: he wouldn't have gone there if they wouldn't have told him that he wouldn't have won the job. So I mean, man, it is what it is. I'm looking at some of my messages at the same time. Look like somebody's saying "wow" or something, man. But could I see Zach Calzada at Texas Tech? No, I do not. No, I do not. So the team that I believe that Zach will go to, because Zach will ultimately stay in the SEC. Okay, so if anybody that doesn't know, I'm telling you now, Zach Calzada will stay in the SEC. He's not going anywhere. I do not expect him to go to the Pac-12. I do not expect him to go over there to the ACC. I don't expect him to go to the AAC. Zach Calzada will go to this place here. Keep this place in mind. Zach will maybe end up at South Carolina. And I'm going to say that once again, man, for all the people in the back. I'm going to say this once again. I believe that he will end up at South Carolina with Shane Beamer. The reason why I say he will end up at South Carolina with Shane Beamer is because South Carolina is a little bit closer to Georgia, of course. And Zach is from Georgia. I can tell you, first and foremost, he's not going to the Georgia Bulldogs. Because if he's going to the Georgia Bulldogs, he ain't going to do nothing but... I'm not trying to bash Zach by all means. All right? So please do not take this from out of context. If he ends up at Georgia, he will not win that starting role. I honestly do not think that. He will not win that starting role. All right? However, I believe at South Carolina, he will ultimately walk in and he will take the spot from whomever they feel like they're going to give that spot to. And that's a fact that I know of. He will walk in there and he will take that spot away from him. All right? So the thing about Zach, man, Zach is going to be forever remembered. I believe that his sister also committed to Texas A&M, in which is really crazy to me because it blew my mind about the timing of it. And with that being said, man, Zach Calzada will not be in this bowl game that's coming up. All right. I do believe this though, and looking at a Billy Lucci tweet that he put out there, what gives you the impression that it's going to be a walk-on quarterback to start? We can all read through thin lines. I know what that tweet means. All I'm saying is this here. Expect that stadium to erupt when Haynes King gets out on that field, or expect that stadium to stand up if Eli Stowers comes in at quarterback. You guys got to remind yourself, these guys have a whole month to get ready, okay? These guys have a whole month to get ready. We don't play our game until December 31st. That's just that. I'm going to say this once again. We don't play our game until December 31st. We have a whole entire month to get ready for Wake Forest. I'm going to tell you another thing. This is going to be the game Listen to me when I say this, y'all. This is going to be the game that defines Jimbo Fisher and what he can really do. This is going to be the game that defines that Texas A&M program and lets everybody around the country know if they've been building or not. This is going to define if you can have a legitimate shot at sitting at the big boy table now. Because what's happening is this here. Now you can hear my voice ramp up. I wanted to get there. You just got to let me get there. Now I'm going to tell you this here. This is going to define what you're going to really do and what you're made of. All right? We wanted the number one class. This is what it comes with. This is what it comes. Anybody who's mad at people transferring now, this is what it comes with. You cannot sit up here and tell me that you were not ready for people to start walking out the door now. Also, breaking news: Dre Norwood, 4-star cornerback, freshman, he's out. He's out. He went on ahead and he put his name in the transfer portal as well. He was the number one player from Arkansas that year. In my mind, I believe he either goes back to Arkansas or he may just go up there to LSU. It's going to be either one of the two. I hear somebody saying that this game doesn't mean a lot, to be honest. It does. It does. Because you're going to see talent on the field in which you hadn't seen all season. Especially with Leon O'Neal opting out. I believe it's some others that may be opting out. We just haven't heard from them yet. Oh, DeMarvin Leal, he's opting out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be some wide receivers maybe opting out as well, man. So you guys have to be looking for that. So regardless of how you may feel about the bowl game, it's a whole lot bigger to the kids that have not even much started the game yet. All right. So like I say, man, this is going to define a whole lot of what you have to work with coming in next season. Once again, we wanted the number one class. This is what comes with bringing in the number one, number two, and number three class, in which is going to be, even if we end up signing the number three class, that's the best class in our program history. Matter of fact, this is the best class that Jimbo Fisher has ever brought in, period, under his head coaching career. You guys have to start letting that sink in already, man. You got to start letting that sink in. All right, so we're going to have to really, really see, once again, what we can do. Because we don't even much know who the quarterback is going to be. I heard somebody on here chatting me and asked me, do I think, have I heard anything from Isaiah Spiller? I have not heard anything at all from Isaiah Spiller. I will let you guys know what is what with that as soon as I hear something from him as well. All right, so like I say, man, I have not heard anything from Isaiah Spiller. I know you guys probably ain't hearing me right there. I'm not sure if he'll be playing in the bowl game or not, but I have not heard anything. Also, another player who I haven't heard anything from is Keon Green. I believe Keon Green will undoubtedly play in this bowl game as well, as that should be his last game of his Texas A&M career. Once again, I have not heard anything from him. I will let you guys know if that is subject to change, but I haven't heard anything so far. So I've only heard just a couple of people not going to be there, you know. But I do believe, man, and I didn't like, oh, Lord, didn't like it. Oh, yes, and yes, Jaden Peavy is out also. I thank you for reminding me of that. So Jaden Peavy is out also. He will not be playing this game. So, man, all I can say is this here. We're going to sign a class that's out this world. And what this class is doing right now, as well as I told you guys of what it was doing last season, is it's ultimately pushing some guys to play to the best of their ability, or it's pushing some guys out the door. Either you want to play or you don't. If you don't want to play and you think you're just going to put on the Texas A&M jersey and you playing the SEC, you're just going to walk around, you're going to get your spot too. All right, I told you guys once before also, all those drop balls that we've all seen throughout the whole year, I bet you they won't drop another pass again. And I'm going to say this once again, I bet you they won't drop another pass again. Because there's going to be some guys that's coming in, man, and they're coming in hunting. I believe in this bowl game here that's coming up, it's going to be some guys coming in with something on their mind. Because I'm going to tell you that's going to be the team that's going to come in and smelling blood right off the bat. It's going to be Wake Forest. Wake Forest is going to come in and they're going to ultimately smell blood. You know, they're going to smell a simple fact of that, oh, y'all don't have everybody, huh? So we're going to ultimately walk in there and we're going to be a wounded animal. It's going to be the fight for survival. Like I say, man, I know that that's Wake Forest. And Wake Forest is not a premier program by all means. But Wake Forest has some talent. All right, and Wake Forest has some weapons. They might not have a defense. I know that part. But they have some offensive firepower. So if that defense walks in wounded and acts like they're wounded, and that's just what it's gonna be, man. It's gonna be a long day. So that's why I say this bowl game does mean something, because if you walk in there and you win that bowl game without a starting quarterback that you had all season, because he's not playing in this bowl game, if you walk in there and you win that game without a starting quarterback, that lets you further know that you by far have the talent that you've been preaching to everybody around the country. All right? That is all that I'm saying, man. You by far have the talent that you've been preaching about all throughout the country. Also, with our cornerbacks, Jalen Jones, he will be out there, of course. Who else is out there? The freshman that was all SEC. I cannot think of my boy name right now, man. Man, you guys got to help me out with that one, man. I cannot think of his name right now. It's not popping up. Oh, Tyreek Chappelle. I'm sorry. Tyreek Chappelle. So he would be out there. Also, Deuce Harmon. He would get his chance to shine. Also, some safeties out there as well. They would get their chance to shine. All right. So I hear you saying that you think I'm putting too much into the bowl game. Like I say, man, this is a chance for these kids to really, really shine and show why they were really up there in the recruiting rankings like this. All right. So we seen what could happen to you when you walk in there and you feel like, oh, well, man, I just don't want to be here. We have all seen what happens with that, man. We can all look at Florida. I guarantee you that Jimbo Fisher is nowhere near like Dan Mullen and is going to walk in there and make excuses. You know, I can tell you that much. He's not going to do that. All right. So all I'm saying is this here, man. Do not want a blowout in this bowl game. All of that, well, they didn't feel like being here. Me personally, I cannot stand that. I cannot stand that talk of, they really didn't want to be here. Man, you still have to show up and play the game, man. All right? You still have to play the game that you got recruited to play. Okay? That coach still has to walk in there and he has to coach that game. So if they walk in there and they get blown out like that, that's on the coach. And there's going to be a lot of people saying that, oh, man, well, Fisher doing it again. He coming here and he's not prepared. He had a whole month and et cetera, et cetera. So, like I say, once again, man, regardless if you think I'm putting too much into the bowl game, that bowl game still counts as a game, man. I don't want to see this team go 8-5. We don't, first and foremost, we have too much talent to go 8-5 to end the season. This should be a over 8-win team. This should be an over 9-win team, to be honest with you. This should be an 11-1 team. To be wholehearted honest with you. Should be 11-1. But instead, we'll settle for a 9-4 record. Because that's where we're aiming at, a 9-4 record. Nobody wants to end the season at 8-5. Nobody at all. And anybody who says that, oh, I'm fine with ending the season with 8-5, man, come on now. Stop it. This game still counts as a win to not only your program, but it counts as a win to your recruits. And it lets your historic class that's coming in know that although you are not at your 100% healthy team, or you are not with all your starters, look at what we can still do. Look at what we can still do. This is the level that we've made it to a Wake Forest team in which I have not seen anybody at all opting out for Wake Forest. Nobody at all. Rather 8-5 than 5. No. 8-5 is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. To be honest with you, 8-4 is unacceptable. All right, we don't want those seasons anymore. We got rid of those seasons when we took out Kevin Summer. All right, I'm just gonna leave it at that. We got rid of those seasons when we took out Kevin Sumlin. We don't want 8-5 anymore. 8-5, that shouldn't even much be in our mindsets anymore. Okay, now 7-5, yeah, we gotta start calling for some heads. But 8-5, that should not be in our vicinity anymore. We're a 10-win team going forward, man. This 8. Look, man, you make me laugh. 8-5, we don't deal with. Okay, we leave that to everybody else, man. We're not an 8-win team anymore. We won 8 this year due to injuries, stuff like that. But I don't want no 8-5. All right. Yeah, I know you was taking a jab. I know you was. I know you was. It's all love, man. It's all love. But so far as the defense coordinator role, I honestly don't know who gets that spot because I've been watching just like you guys, and I have not seen nobody fill the void yet. So I honestly don't know who's going to get it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about recruiting, and we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here, okay? So I'm gonna put in some recruiting notes, let you guys know what's what. All right, come on and get on up in here. All right, so first and foremost, I'm gonna let you guys know this here. So this is what it's looking like as of right now. To all of the Zach Evans, I'm gonna say this once again, to all of the Zach Evans fans. Texas A&M, and this is Jimbo Fisher, of course. Let me click on this. A lot of people have asked about Zach Evans, and this is from Brian Peroni. He says this here. A lot of people have asked about Zach Evans. I don't know if A&M would end up offering, but I was told that Fisher definitely reached out to ask people familiar with TCU about him over the weekend. He was doing his due diligence about Evans as a person and teammate. I've been told that Fisher received really good reports on both of those things, and A&M knows that it will be pretty much just a 1-year deal with Evans almost assuredly declaring after the 2022 season. He is a proven back that could fill in an Isaiah Spiller role. So that's just to all of the people that's been asking about Zach Evans and things like that. Texas A&M is looking at him inside of the transfer portal. All right, I just want to let you guys know that there, man. Once again, Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M are looking at Zach Evans. Now, will we land Zach Evans? I have no clue. I don't know that part yet. It's all up to Zach if he wants to come here and still play for a Texas team or he just wants to leave the state. But we will find out. Would I mind having him? No, not at all. Because I believe that he will bring another style and he'll bring another energy to that running back room. All right, guys, let's keep on going here. Talk about some things. All right, so this is where they stand. And this is the more interesting part of this. So this is where they all stand as of right now. All right, so you guys listen up for this one. It may be pretty long, but I'm going to go ahead and get comfortable, and I'm going to read these things out to you guys. All right. So we're now just 3 days away from the early signing period. It begins this coming Wednesday and lasts through Friday. If players do not sign on one of those 3 days, they must wait until February 2nd to be able to do so. Texas A&M has 21 commits in the 2022 class at this point, and all expected to ink this coming week. But the Aggies are also favorites, are very high on a list of a number of other 5-star and national top 100 prospects. The dead period starts Sunday night at midnight, and Texas A&M just had a number of players on campus for both officials and unofficial visitors over the weekend. Here's where things stand with all top targets 3 days out. One guy that was on an official over the weekend was Philadelphia, IMH OTEP. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's the high school. But edge rusher Eni White Even before the trip, I had the nation's number 37 overall prospect as the crystal ball prediction I felt best about. And nothing has changed on that front. Once again, Enoch White, that crystal ball prediction remains the same. He has already told people that are close to Texas A&M, also Hayes Fawcett, that he will be saying the school that he will be committing to the school of his choice on Wednesday. All right, so you guys need to be watching for that. White had originally tossed around the idea of committing either Monday or Tuesday of this week, but is now likely going to do it on Wednesday. And I would be really surprised if it wasn't anywhere but A&M. Another player that I feel confident on my crystal ball prediction with is North Shore 5-star cornerback Denver Harris. I had previously reported that he was down to A&M and LSU. A&M took the lead when Fisher did his in-home last weekend, and then things looked even better when now former LSU cornerbacks coach Corey Raymond went to Florida. All right, Harris ended up making his way to Aggie Land on Sunday for an unofficial visit. All right, which was not something he had necessarily planned. And even though they were in good shape already, the Aggies felt even better after the visit. So with Denver Harris arrived on Sunday, and he came that Sunday morning. No, I think he had came that Sunday afternoon. That was really, really big for the guys that were already down there to see another top prospect just like they are to actually consider the Aggies and most likely end up at A&M. So this is another reason to why you may see Dre Norwood leaving from out of the program, because it's some guys coming in, man. It's some guys coming in at that safety spot and that cornerback spot specifically. And they're coming to make the program better, but they're also coming to make guys around them that are already there play even harder. All right, so let's keep on going here. Harris is an early enrollee and had considered the idea of not signing and just enrolling in January if he did not know where he was going to choose just yet. But he will announce and sign on Wednesday, and A&M is in very good shape there with the nation's number 17 overall prospect. Monday morning edit, the Denver Harris visit was indeed a very short official visit. I still feel like my prediction of him to A&M on Wednesday. All right, so that's that. The other weekend visitor I feel the best about is the Tascasita 4-star offensive lineman Cam Dewberry. I also expected it to be the Aggies before the weekend, even though he talked about visiting both College Station and Austin. The nation's number 91 overall prospect ended up spending the night in Aggieland on Saturday night, though. Dewberry has an official final 3 of A&M, Oklahoma, and Texas. But this is an in-state battle. The Longhorns got his attention a bit with the offensive line NIL deal in Austin, but he was already leaning heavily to the Aggies. And A&M will have plenty of NIL opportunities in his own right. So Dewberry will be announcing his commitment and sign at a ceremony on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central. All right, so you guys need to be watching that as well. All right, so another one here. Shamar Stewart, and this is the one that a lot of you guys have been waiting on. So 5-star defensive lineman Shamar Stewart out of Miami was in town on an unofficial over the weekend. It was big to get him to pay his own way to see College Station once again. Also hung out with a bunch of the current commits. Stewart was considered a very heavy lean to A&M before Mario Cristobal was hired by the Miami Hurricanes. The nation's number 9 overall prospect had considered potentially signing early, but after the Cristobal hire, settled on waiting until February to announce and sign. A&M used the weekend to remind Stewart of why he is so high on the Aggies, and the commits helped a lot as well. But they are going to have to weather the storm from Miami over the next month and a half. Some of the current commits like where A&M stands, but they also all say that they aren't positive what he's going to do. All right. Another player that was leaning to A&M even before the weekend is Houston Cy Park 5-star linebacker Harold Perkins. So anybody who wants to know if Harold came down, yes, that has been confirmed. Harold Perkins was in town. Okay? Ranked as the number 5 player in the country and the top prospect in Texas, The two main schools for him are A&M and LSU. Let's keep on going here. I've heard good things about five-star edge rusher Jaheed Campbell, who A&M is recruiting as a linebacker as well. The former Clemson commit, who opened things up last week, visited Alabama before his A&M official, and those are the two main schools to watch. A&M feels things went really well with Campbell being blown away by his trip, which is actually still going on as early Sunday evening. Of course, this is an article from yesterday. And his family really likes College Station as well. But it could be a dogfight with Alabama heading into Wednesday announcement. We hope to have a little bit more on him soon. All right, other schools. And this is what you guys need to know, because these guys are top-rated prospects, man. You guys need to know this. Other schools still will be working on A&M commits such as Walter Nolan, Evan Stewart, and Gabriel Brownlow-Dinty. Okay, these are all top 10 prospects of who I just named. I'm sorry, top 15 of who I just named. But I expect all of them to stick with A&M. Also expect cornerback Dion Bouye to stick as well. If there's one potentially player to worry about, is running back Le'Veon Moss out of Louisiana. I don't believe Le'Veon will be going anywhere. That's just me in general. I do not believe he'll be going anywhere, even if we do sign Zach Evans. Zach Evans will come in and will ultimately make the people around him, once again, bring out their talents even more. All right. So Anthony Lucas, he was not there over the weekend, but I still think it's likely that 247 Sports five-star defensive lineman Anthony Lucas out of Arizona ends up in Aggie. All right, it's out of A&M and Alabama for Anthony Lucas. I'm very high on Anthony Lucas. I've seen what I need to see. He reminds me of Amari Abel a little bit. It looks like those two guys could be identical on how the way they play. The guy that we're watching for to maybe flip, and I'm going to say this once again, to maybe flip. We're working to get more info on Kentucky five-star offensive tackle commit Keontae Goodwin. With his final official over the weekend done after a trip to Michigan State, he and his family are going to sit down this week and make a decision. A&M is probably Kentucky's biggest threat, and Fisher and company had a very productive in-home last week. Michigan is also a big player, but the Aggies are probably the choice if he does flip. I believe Keontae Goodwin will be signing this week. All right, so be watching for that. There's no news on Louisiana safety Jacoby Matthews. The former LSU committee is still planning to wait until February to sign, and Fisher will use his in-home in January. Matthews was pretty close to making an A&M commitment recently, but he is going to give the new LSU staff a chance after it is finalized. So I'm going to say that once again. He's going to give LSU a chance. This is where these kids are from. I'm not mad at them at all. They're going to do what they got to do. So Duncanville five-star defensive lineman Omar Abey is going to announce at the Under Armour game, but I don't expect A&M to be the pick. It will come as a big surprise to the Aggies as well. Ohio State has made him a priority is the likely destination. A&M could say something about that. All right. So to sum it all up, I think A&M ends up with Harold Perkins, Denver Harris, Eni White, Anthony Lucas, and Cam Dewberry. Though Perkins could wait until February to sign, there's a better than 50-50 chance with Shamar Stewart. And there are about even odds with Jaheed Campbell and Jacoby Matthews, with a bit of an uphill battle for Keontae Goodwin. I don't expect Amari Abel to be an Aggie. This was all written, by those guys that do the articles, man. So that's all I have for you guys on today. This is written by Brian Peroni. I'm sorry. So that is all I have for you guys on today. Once again, I'm going to say this once again. We're going to sit back and we're going to see what's what. Oh, yes. And also, Bo Nix. That's the one that really, really shocked me. Bo Nix shocked the crap out of me. Anything on Harold Perkins. Yes, Harold Perkins was down here for the visit over the weekend, and from what I'm reading and from what I'm hearing, he enjoyed his visit. Now, keep this in mind, man. Like I always tell you guys, Harold Perkins is a Louisiana native, and him and his uncle is real close. From what I'm seeing on Twitter, him and his uncle is real close. His uncle is a big LSU fan, a really big LSU fan. It will be out of those two schools. At the end of the day, feel very confident of where A&M sits as to where LSU sits. His uncle has no problem on where he may choose, but once again, his uncle is a huge LSU fan, all right? So his uncle has no problem on where he may choose because his uncle would still show up at each and every game, in my opinion. He would show up at the home games, but when they play LSU, it's going to be very split. But Harold Perkins will undoubtedly end up at Texas A&M at the end of the day, in my opinion. All right. But the most shocking thing to me, man, is Bo Nix and Tank Bigsby leaving Auburn. That had to be the most shocking news of anything, because Bo Nix is Auburn, Tank Bigsby is Auburn. To be honest with you, I have no clue who in the heck is on that Auburn football team now. I'm gonna say this once again. This is no disrespect to the Auburn program. I don't know who's on that team anymore because Bo Nix was Auburn. Bo Nix was really all they had, and Tank Bigsby, like I said, it was really all they had. It's going to be really amazing to see what Brian Harsin can do going forward with the Auburn program. All right. But other than that, man, that's all I have for you guys. And no, we were not going to go get no Bo Nix. Bo Nix would not come and be quarterback over here. Please, don't nobody even come and ask me that. Bo Nix will not be quarterback. But that's all I have for you guys. I love all of you. #GigaMags.